right, welcome back to our newest episode of SpitBallin Sports. I'm John. How you doing, Scott?
Good. How are you, buddy?
All right. Well, it's summertime in Western New York until Monday or Sunday night. Snow.
I know. I heard it's supposed to snow again.
Yeah. Snow on Monday. It's going to be cold at least.
What is that?
Yeah, it's going to be cold.
That's, Mother Nature's always bipolar with us here in New York. So, oops, sorry.
Yeah, we're in a bad spot. Just so you know, remember last time we had Robert on, Robert Butler. He was the guy who SportSkope. If you go find SportSkope, how it's spelled right there, go on Facebook, you'll find his show. It's every night. I believe it's 8:00 Eastern. Great show. It's an unbelievable show. Let me bring him in. Let me add.
Hey,
there he is. Hey,
appreciate that. Thank you, John. Scott, good to see you guys again.
Good to see you too, man.
All right.
Is it right? 8 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Nice.
I try to get an hour in. Sometimes I go over. Sometimes I go a minute or two under.
Yeah, no, it's a smart show. It's a good show. Everyone should watch it. I told you when I was on your show how good I thought it was. It was old time. It's not Sports Center. It's opinion, but check it out. 8:00. Find it here. Look.
Hey, I like that intro you got too, John. Good stuff, man.
Oh,
that's what I need to get on my program, an intro.
Yeah.
Makeavideo.com. I was writing that down.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know it's free. Someday I'm going to get rid of the watermark, but all right. Now,
looks
Robert,
great.
I got you. You're here for about 30 minutes, and I want to go to NBA. Let's start in the NBA first. The playoff we got the play-in game tonight. I don't, two play-in games. So we don't know who Milwaukee's going to play. We don't know who Denver's going to play. But obviously, I don't think either one of those teams are going to be a threat.
Right.
To them. So we can just skip over them because we don't.
History says they won't be a threat.
Yeah. They don't look like threats. See, that Minnesota team throwing punches and everything else. So
and Bear's not even playing tonight, right? We were just talking about he's saying he's out with back. He's got back spasms, I guess they're saying.
Who's out tonight?
I think Gobert.
Really? I don't believe he's playing. Yeah, I believe he's saying he's got back spasms.
Oh, I know his back's been.
I don't think 100% that he's out, but I know that I heard earlier that they weren't positive.
They traded how many first-round picks? Holy
man!
For that guy,
30 years old too. Yeah,
they're throwing punches. Let's start in the East. And I got the lines too for the series. The 76ers are minus 900 against the Nets, who are plus 600.
Yeah.
Once again, Robert, no chance, right, for anything.
That's my only sweep.
Is it? Okay.
A lot of competitive basketball, man. That's the one I could see being a sweep. Very fortunate to be. We say that, and then Philadelphia will do what Philadelphia does, and they'll play underneath, below their talent level. Embiid will get in trouble, and it'll be a 5 or 6 game series when it should be a sweep.
Boy, Embiid has really. I remember he fumbles a lot in the playoffs.
Yeah, he does.
I can't remember what game that was. I mean, maybe they're playing the Celtics. I just remember him fumbling at a huge time in the fourth quarter. Let me go to another game, another series. That's pretty. Boston's minus 1,000 against the Hawks plus 650. Anything there that we could maybe?
Well, I mean, they match up really well against Atlanta. Now, Atlanta's got talent. You guys know Trae Young. I was reading the other day. He could be traded. And quite frankly, man, he's got great numbers, by the way. We saw what he did against Miami.
Prop bets lately, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was looking at this because I'm going to talk about this tonight with Carlos, Matt New Yorker Chavez here. 26 points and 10 assists.
Wow.
That is his best assist rate and of his whole career this year, and Trae Young. But apparently, maybe he doesn't get along. He's still immature at 24, doesn't get along with Snyder. It's probably a 5-game series because he's so talented and is such a good shooter. Maybe they just outshoot Boston and Boston's cold one night, and then maybe Boston gets a game. Or Atlanta gets the game, excuse me.
He's got a little Curry in him, He can shoot from
anywhere.
He does,
man.
Anywhere on the court, he can shoot. Now, the next one is going to be, I think it's going to be a good series. Now, I'm a Knicks fan, so whatever. The Knicks are plus 185, which I think is a little high. Cleveland minus 210. It's Julius Randle's the question.
Yeah.
When does he come back? He's questionable for game 1. I don't know. I mean, Obi Toppin's played well, but what are you going to do there? How long do you think this series goes?
Yeah, you know something, Adrian Wojciechowski was saying today that ankle sprain targeting return, but how is he going to be out of shape? I mean, you're going right in from coming back from injury to playoff speed. The Knicks, I want to say they're 2-1 against Cleveland in the regular season. Cleveland's got better players. I mean, it just is what it is. They've got a more talented roster there. I actually went out on a limb and said Cleveland in 7. Some people saying it could be Cleveland in 5 because of the Randall situation.
Right.
Brunson may carry the Knicks, but Knicks got a little bit of experience edge on them. Remember, they were in the playoffs 2 years ago against the Atlanta Hawks there, and that was a pretty interesting series. My heart says Knicks. I mean, I like Thibodeau. You know, I like what they stand for, but my head says it's probably Cleveland in 6 or 7.
Yeah. And a healthy Randall, and even a healthy Randall. I've watched a lot of Knicks. A healthy Randall sometimes is out of control, similar to Embiid. I've seen him dribble out of bounds. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen. I don't know what it is about him. Fourth quarters is not his favorite quarter, and but I'd love to see him back just so they could be, it's too bad because I think I don't know if RJ Barrett's he's been dinged up too. So
Quickly's playing better. I mean, it's possible you're going to have to get some unsung heroes from the Knicks. Josh Hart, let's see how he plays. That was a great trade, by the way, but for the Knicks. So we'll see. I mean, they've got a puncher's chance because they've got a little bit of edge on experience. Right. But if you're just looking player for player with talent, I mean, it's really hard to spin it.
I know. I look at that plus 185
and I want the Knicks to win.
Yeah.
God, they haven't been relevant in so long.
I know. It's nice to see them good again. Yeah. They're on the verge. I don't know what they can do in the offseason. I have no idea. NBA is weird. I can never figure it out. I don't know their salary cap well. I know every other sports cap pretty good. I can't figure that one out.
It's hard because everything has to match up, and then you get these protected, unprotected picks and all that.
Yeah, and the bird rights stuff, which I still don't get. And
I'm more amazed at the fact of how many times these superstars team up and it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
That amazes me more times than it doesn't because generally the owner, GM, whatever, is going and talking to the star players and okaying it with them before they even make the deals. 9 out of 10 times, I would imagine they do.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me how often it blows up.
That's true.
A lot of egos, man.
I mean, I don't know what else it is, but you're supposed to go into it with an understanding that you're working towards a bigger thing. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
A lot of it's maturity level and understanding your role and
exactly. That's why the whole Kyrie to Dallas thing never. I just don't understand that.
Good. Speaking of Dallas, the NBA fined them $750,000 this week today. Or yesterday for sitting players out in an elimination game. I think it was Slovenia night, so I think Luka Doncic played 1 quarter and they took him out. What do you think of that fine, Robert?
Yeah, and I was reading about that. Spot Track said, well, it's worth it because they can get they have a chance to get the number 1 pick. They've got that top 10 protected. If I'm Dallas, I'm okay with that. But my deal is if you really want to stop something like that, why don't you just take away that first-round pick?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you want to put a stop to it. Let's take that lottery pick,
real quick.
Yeah. I really
like they did Miami Dolphins in football, John.
Yeah, right.
With the tampering charge, right? There's only 31 picks in the first round, guys, in the draft.
And that's why it was so hard with the Claypool trade. All of a sudden, it was a first rounder for Claypool out of nowhere. I mean, bullshit.
Pittsburgh came out like a bandit on that deal. Yeah.
So, okay, before I get into the West Side, I got to ask you one thing, Robert. Maybe why did Dallas do that? Like, what was is there anything? What's behind the fact that they sat those guys?
Well, that is the Kristaps Porzingis 2019 protected top 10. Mark Cuban, he's thinking, well, we're going to be probably an 8 or 7, probably an 8. Let's just take a chance and get that lottery pick. Maybe we can flip that for something else. Go get another player. I mean, I could see the thinking behind it. They like their chances of getting in that 10 or better and want to take advantage.
Because that was a kick right in the gut to the NBA with this play-in stuff. They want that. You know what I mean? You want Dallas in there and all that. And
even if they're not going anywhere, you like to see Doncic playing the post. It's good for the league, man.
Yeah, that was a kick in the stomach. Let's go to Denver is going to take on the winner of OKC and Minnesota. Yeah. I want to get your thoughts on Denver, and if Scott, you have any too. I don't find Denver to be, I don't know. I don't find them to be they're a number one, but I don't feel like they are. What do you think of them?
Well, now, mind you guys, Jamal Murray always seems to get injured. Now, when he played, I want to say him and Joker played in 2019. They went a few rounds in the playoffs, I want to say. Now they've got Aaron Gordon. You've got Porter. They could be a surprise, and even though they're a 1 seed, everybody's either picking Phoenix or Golden State, all the national people. But the truth of the matter is they could be sitting there thinking, okay, you guys know how good we can be if we can keep Jamal Murray healthy. This team has about 4 years experience, so they're not going to be wide-eyed and intimidated with that. And that rarefied air in Denver, they could be sneaky good, man. They really could. There's some experience there that people's overlooking, including myself.
Me too. I am too, because I don't ever give them the same respect as I would give Milwaukee, for example.
Oh, no.
You know, it's the same feeling. Let me ask you about this one, and I think the huge Paul George being out.
Oh, man.
For the Clippers. I think Phoenix will probably take care of them maybe in 5, give them a win. So,
well, with their depth, I mean, it's hard to write off that Clipper team. Remember, we wrote them off against.
Yeah.
I was for sure Utah was going to win a few years ago. And I think Kawhi Leonard was out and they still beat Utah.
They still beat them. You're right.
They've got that depth, man. And they seem to be playing better as of late. You look at guys like Russell Westbrook. I forgot the head coach's name. It's slipping my mind now.
He is playing. Well, Westbrook has been
They're
good.
Playing Westbrook right.
Yeah.
Don't let Westbrook finish games. He'll screw things up. But I could see him maybe pushing it to 5 or 6, but I believe it's probably Phoenix.
Yeah.
They even lost a game with Durant as a starter there.
I know. They're going to be tough. They're going to be tough. They're going to be really tough. So the Clippers are plus 370 in that matchup.
Right.
Here's one. The Lakers against Memphis. The Lakers are plus 120. Memphis minus 140. Ooh, man. What do you think?
I'm telling you, man. Memphis has the deeper team. We don't have Steven Adams, no Brandon Clark. Anthony Davis playing probably the best basketball since he's been here. I like the role players around LeBron, but you just got to think, okay, I know Memphis is favored, and they should be.
Right.
But, no Steven Adams, I don't know if this is a big if Anthony Davis can stay healthy, I see the Lakers pulling this off in probably 6.
Yeah.
But you guys know, like I know. I mean, at some point, the Lakers are going to fall apart. Is it going to be this series or the next series?
Right. How long before Anthony Davis gets hurt again, right?
He's going to get – plus, I mean, LeBron's 38, guys.
Yeah.
This ain't football where you can stand in one spot like Brady. You're running up and down the court.
Anthony Davis could be one of the greats. He really could have been.
Yeah.
It almost makes me feel like he doesn't – and this is a way off. What do I know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I watch him and I feel like he's not really engaged. Like it's almost like he's there because that's what he does. Man. I don't know. It's a weird thing with him. I don't know. He's a weird guy.
That is true.
The next one. Golden State minus 275. Sacramento is plus 220. I gotta think Golden State in this one. I want to hear what you think, though, Robert.
Well, a very energetic team, young team, and I keep thinking Mike Brown's your coach. Mike Brown's probably. I think he already got the Coach of the Year award, didn't he? With Sacramento, I'm like, dude, where's the defense at? Where's the beef? You used to have a great defense in Cleveland, or but they just don't play any defense. They're very energetic. They're probably going to win a game, maybe two, but you got to go with the veteran team now. Is Wiggins being rushed? Right. And do you think maybe Wiggins can get injured, being rushed back? What's it been, 6 weeks?
Yeah. I just read about that. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and then Gary Payton too. So it could go the other way. I'm picking Golden State too, but there's some question marks about that. Yeah. You know, what are you going to do about the guys who? What are you going to do about their substitutions? By inserting Wiggins. So there's a lot of questions there, but obviously these young teams usually let me down every year in the playoffs. So I would definitely pick Golden State, but you just never know, man.
I know. Yeah. We're with Robert Butler from SportSkope. You can see him tonight right after we're done at 8 p.m. Eastern. Just go to SportSkope and check it out. There's a couple things real quick before I get to football.
Yeah. Real
fast. I just want to bring up Chris Middleton's still hurt. He's a big – I'll tell you, as it moves on, Milwaukee, he's really good. Yeah. He's an underrated guy, Chris Middleton. We talked about Adams, Randall, and Paul George. So let's get to the NFL. Yeah. I really want to talk to you about the draft.
Yeah.
The first thing, before we get there, real quick, I keep seeing all this stuff about Kirk Cousins being traded. And I feel like the story keeps on building, and I feel like where there's smoke, maybe there's fire. What do you think about this? I've read it now, 3 times in the last couple of weeks leading up to draft.
I don't know, man. I thought that a couple years ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know,
they might be ready to. Yeah.
It's hard to tell. I think he's got like one more year left. Minnesota, they drafted a guy out of Texas A&M a few years ago in the 3rd round.
Oh, yeah.
There were talks that he was going to get your guy Justin Fields if he would have been on the board.
Right.
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it with stuff like that, because I'm just not 100% on these quarterbacks this year. I just, I'm also hearing this Tennessee's going to trade up with Arizona, them and 5 other teams. I'm like, well, why has it been done? Is Arizona putting this out there? Is Minnesota? Is somebody from Minnesota putting it out there saying he's available? Come get him.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
There's too much money up here.
Let me ask you this. I found a thing on ESPN Plus. I'm going to do the top 11. It is need versus value pick. They give you the need pick, they give you the value pick, and then I'm going to throw the Bills in there at 27 too.
Yeah.
Carolina, this is from ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
They say Bryce Young is the need and the value. Do you guys think? I mean, I guess.
Isn't it inevitable at this point? I thought.
Yeah.
That he's
Young is there's this S2 test. It's supposed to be better than the Wonderlic in air quotes.
Right.
And supposedly he aced this thing. Everything I'm reading, I got Adam Schefter. There's a huge lean on him now with Carolina. Now I also read if he's not there at 2, that Houston loves this defensive end out of Alabama, this Will Anderson, and they're not really in love with any of the quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but my thing, guys, Bryce Young, he's 5'11", 192. It's not if. It's when he's going to get hurt. You're going to have to pay some money for a backup here. I used the example last night. If he's watching my program, a guy like Teddy Bridgewater, back when he played for the Saints, they were paying him like $15 million a year for a backup role.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's kind of reminds me of Tua. Maybe Tua like
he's
with
smart.
Bryce Young, So I'd be. That's why now number 2, the need. Yeah. They say C.J. Stroud is the need, but the value is Will Anderson. You just said it. So that's what they're saying. Value pick Will Anderson. If you're going to go need, I guess you go with Ohio State's C.J. Stroud.
Right. Yeah. And, Stroud, I'm starting to believe that this Ohio State bias thing where there's so many players that have missed from Ohio State at quarterback. I think that seed is being planted. I mean, he's got great completion, over 70%. We saw the way he played against that excellent Georgia defense. Yes, Georgia was probably a little rusty because of the layoff, but can you blame Stroud? I mean, do you give him that the whole game? I ain't saying he's all world, but he's probably the safest pick.
Yeah, I'm taking him over Bryce Young. I was surprised to see this.
Depends on this system too, man.
Here's something
great with the Colts and their system.
You're gonna like this. Arizona, they say the need is Will Anderson. Yes. The value is Jalen Carter.
The value would be Jalen Carter. Yeah. Everybody can use, not unless you're have an Aaron Donald or like here in Tennessee, a Jeffrey Simmons. But Jalen Carter, you've got so many red flags with he's out of shape. He had the wreck. If as a general manager, if he has a hiccup, a gun charge at an airport, you're going to hear about it. Right. So you could lose your job if this guy gets in trouble because there's so much information that came out of Carter. Carter's great, but those red flags, man, I don't know. I would maybe in the middle of the first round to the second. I don't know if I'd take him in the top 5, guys.
I'm going to tell you, when I saw Carter playing Ohio State, he looked terrible. He was tired. He was on the sidelines for most of it. You could see, and that was even before the accident. And now, of course, he came in heavy to the combine and stuff.
There's pro day too.
Yeah, pro day. Yeah. No, it's not looking.
So he leaves the combine because he left the scene of an accident. And gets arrested, comes back to the combine. Yeah, I'm good here. Okay, yeah.
The Colts at number 4. They love Will Levis, I think. What do you know about this?
Well, now Levis, I've read that too. I've read that too with Levis, but Shane Steichen, I would rather take a chance on a Anthony Richardson, extremely raw out of Florida. Extremely raw, but look at the system. He looks so much like Jalen Hurts, guys, in college. Right. I don't know if he's got the heart of a Jalen Hurts, the commitment of a Jalen Hurts. That would be a good fit. Shishkin comes out of Philly, put that Eagle system in there. It might be bumpy this year, but you could build on that,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I'm he's terrible this first year,
I heard they even think that Richardson's even going to make it that far.
Really?
Oh, wow. He's going to go.
The people trading up. I've heard all, it's all pundit shit right now.
Yeah.
This 1,000 different things, but I could totally see a quarterback needy team giving them what they want to get up to number 3 to jump ahead of the Colts. Somebody's gonna jump ahead of them.
He's got the big frame, strong guy, just really fast, athletic. Some compared to Josh Allen,
right?
Jason McIntyre thought he may go number 1.
Yeah, I've heard that shit too. I would have been shocked at that, but
Now let me before we got let me flip around here.
It goes back quick, don't it?
I want to go to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I want to go to your team.
Yeah.
This thing says it's Richardson. That's the value. That's the need. That's what ESPN Plus thinks. What is going on down there?
Yeah. Charles Davis, former University of Tennessee player, football analyst. I don't know where he's working at now. He seems to be everywhere. He also thinks Tennessee takes a Richardson there at 11. Tennessee still has questions on their line. It would really be, I don't know if Tennessee's system with Vrabel being the head coach there. I don't know if they can put the proper system around Richardson. I hope they don't do that, but you never know. I know that Rand Carthon went to Florida. He's the general manager here. Richardson's a Florida guy. That kind of scares me because a guy like Richardson, you put him in the wrong system, he could be a total bust, man.
Yeah.
He could be a total, put him in the right system, he could be a star and go to the Super Bowl.
Definitely. Yeah. And if he's a bust, it's over. You know what I mean? If he's in the wrong system, it's done. His career's pretty much shot. Detroit is who they're saying Jalen Carter is going to pick. They believe that the Lions will take Carter at number 6. I think that's high, but that's what their thoughts are. And I know what your thoughts are on Carter. So
yes,
yeah,
if I'm the general manager, I don't go with Carter. He fits there, and you got to look at Campbell, former player. He's thinking I can fix him. He's got some good leadership. That I'm thinking what Campbell, being a former player, they need that position.
So do the Bears.
Yeah.
Chicago.
30th against the run, right?
Oh, they're so bad. They couldn't stop anything.
The Bears and Houston.
They need that. It's too bad. But I mean, they might take him at 9. I know they've met with him 3 times. I read. So I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Some of
his film looks great, guys.
I got a question. So Malik Willis is just done now?
Who?
He's done?
Malik Willis?
Well,
they're done with him already?
Everything I'm getting, I think that they think he is just super raw, man. And I've read it. He's on the trading block. I don't know what they'd get for him. He can't throw anybody open. He's a good guy.
How did they not know that prior to drafting the guy? I mean, didn't they know that? Or, I mean.
Well, he had think about all the tools he's got.
Yeah.
Well, Willis,
I'm willing to give up on him so fast. That's my question. Why are they not trying to, why do they just want to get rid of him?
I don't really know, because he's a 3rd round pick. You're not paying him a lot of money. And they let Josh Dobbs walk. He's a backup with Cleveland now.
Oh yeah.
And of course they still got Tannehill down here. That's a good question. Maybe they're seeing some work against you.
Prior to him getting drafted, I heard everyone singing his praises. I don't watch college football. So I just remember hearing a lot about him and that he was a good quarterback. And it's like, I'm looking at him, like, he started 1 game.
Yeah.
And it transferred to
they've already decided?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something real quick.
Yeah.
Do the Raiders pick a quarterback at 7? What do you think?
You know what, guys? I think they probably go O-line or they go cornerback. It's a very good cornerback draft, by the way. Very good corners. They gave Garoppolo 3-year contract. They're paying him a good chunk of money. And
Jimmy G wins, man.
Yeah.
He does.
I guess if he could stay healthy, man.
He stands up.
He wins.
Yeah. So they probably should go offensive line and just
help him.
Protect him.
Yeah.
Go Sanowski or Paris Johnson and maybe put one of those guys in the middle. They like Colton Miller. They don't love Colton Miller, their left tackle.
Let me ask you before I got to let you go. Would you take a running back in this draft, like in the top 10? They're showing Atlanta with Bijan Robinson.
Are you kidding me? When they've already got out this alligator guy's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'll stay with the alligator. And Cordell Patterson, he's kind of like he's a poor man's Deebo Samuel, Arthur Smith down there. I would. I
love Cordell Patterson, man. I love that dude. He's just
great for fantasy, ain't he?
Different. He's just so different. You know what I mean?
He's Deebo. You're right. He's a poor man. He's a dollar store Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
He's a dollar store Deebo Samuel.
If he can stay healthy, he's another one. If he can stay healthy.
Now the Eagles, John. Back to your question at 10. Now Robertson's one of the better overall prospects, not just a running back position. I could see maybe the Eagles doing it at 10 because they got rid of Miles Sanders and Rashad Penny. He's he can't stay healthy in Seattle. I don't know what
third down back or something.
Yeah. Where they have the Eagles. This is what they had them with.
Yeah.
The need, they have a defensive tackle. I'm going to say his name wrong. Kalijah Cansey from, I don't even know the hell he is, from Pittsburgh, defensive tackle. And the value is Smith and Jigba. But
who?
Smith and Jigba.
From Ohio State. Well,
he didn't play at all.
The school of thought is if you're doing that, maybe you want to move on from A.J. Brown before the big money kicks in.
True.
Wow, already?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're going. His cap hit's going to explode next year.
Yeah, I can't believe they haven't done anything about it.
No, And it's food for thought, guys. It's food for thought. He's going to be close to $30 million hit.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Last question before I have to let you go, Robert.
Yeah, man.
How many quarterbacks get drafted in the first round in your mind?
Man, I got a feeling people's going to reach, and somebody's going to come up with just a bag of goods. I'm going to say 4. I'm going to say 4. I think maybe Detroit with their second pick. Maybe Levis is still on the board. You got 1 year left of Jared Goff. You can restart that quarterback,
right?
Rookie contract thing there. So I'm going to say 4.
Right.
And probably 2 of these guys are going to be duds, if not 3 of the 4.
And next year's
know who.
I think somebody's going to reach 2. I think there's going to be 4.
Christian Ponder.
Yeah, Christian Ponder. Oh my God.